Welcome to this YouTube channel on how to buy businesses no cash down. I'm Carl Allen and I've been buying businesses for almost 25 years, more than 250 deals in 17 countries. This playlist is my 10-step process to buy a business no cash down. Think of it as a deal-making robot. Here's the next video in the sequence. There are 7 in total. So we're going to kick off with our deal-making robot, and I'm going to walk you through the 10-step process. And as we go through the 10 steps, we get to program our deal-making robots at every single stage. So step 1 is deal specification. And as I mentioned before, there are millions of businesses to go after. Let me take a moment just to prove those numbers to you so you can see how big this massive opportunity is. As we saw earlier, there are more than 36 million small businesses with less than 20 employees across the 4 countries of the USA, UK, Canada and Australia. And actually, if you type business for sale into Google, you get 947 million hits. Now, granted, there are not 947 million businesses for sale, but there are a lot. Let's just see how many. I'm asked all the time just how many businesses out there are there for no cash down deals. Well, here's the answer. It's 2.66 million businesses across the USA, UK, Canada and Australia. And more than 2.1 million of them are just in America. And the reason is because the owners who are either listed for sale right now or they're going to list this year, only 1 in 13 of them on average will sell. And it's fairly consistent across all the countries. In 2016, only 229,000 small businesses sold. And that leaves us with a target market across all small business sectors of more than 2.66 million. So what's going to happen to them? Well, some will just sit there for years in some cases. Others will just close the doors and turn off the lights. And some will just be given away for free. Most of these are retirees. In the USA alone, there are 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day. Can you believe that? And according to the Small Business Administration, 18% of them have got a small business. So the USA numbers are actually going to get much larger. Within 2 to 3 years, I'm predicting that you will see more than 3 million small businesses unsold. And these are good businesses. BizBuySell.com predicted that 8.4 million baby boomers that own small businesses will hit the market before 2030. So that's going to be another 600,000 businesses per year that come to market. And if only 1 in 13 sell, then we're going to have an epidemic. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we are here to solve. So, because there's so much choice, you can be highly selective in the type of business that you want to own. And here are the 3 main criteria that you need to decide upon before you start seeking out businesses to buy. And the first is your sector of choice. Second is figuring out your ideal role within the business. So think owner, investor versus owner operator. And that helps you determine location, which is point number 3. So let's start with sector. It's important, although not critical, that you buy a business in a sector that you know something about. I've done so many deals in sectors that I couldn't even spell, let alone knew the ins and outs of the industry. But I'm not talking about you being a global expert in a particular sector, but it is useful to have some experience. So for example, if you spent your career in manufacturing or technology, it's natural that you're going to want to go and buy a business in that space. You wouldn't go and buy a chemical processing business, for example, when you've got no clue about that market. And it's also important that you have some passion for the sector as well. Don't do deals just for the sake of it, because there's so many of them out there. Do deals in sectors that you're passionate about. And then next, go figure out the role and your work-life balance. If you want to own a business and then you want to go in there every day to operate it, then that's fine. A lot of the people in my deal-making network do just that. However, just as many don't want to operate the businesses. They want to do deals in sectors they know and are passionate about, but then they want to hand off the operation to someone else so they can pursue other interests, but still enjoy the cash flows. And role and location are closely linked. If you want to operate the business once you own it, it therefore needs to be close to where you live, unless you want to use the ownership of a business, the purchase of a business, to relocate to another country or to emigrate or do whatever you want to do. It's much easier actually to emigrate to another country when you've bought a business there. And some of my businesses are in Australia, and I spend most of my time either in the UK or the USA. I only go to visit Australia twice a year to see my son actually, and then I check in on my businesses whilst I'm there. I've got people operating them for me every day, and I only spend about an hour per week on those businesses reviewing performance. The size of business is fairly simple. You want to do deals between $500,000 and $10 million in annual sales revenues. Anything less than $500,000 in annual sales, and it's not really worth the time and effort to do the deal. It takes just the same amount of time to do a $5 million deal that it does to do a $500,000 deal. Also, with a really, really tiny deal, then what you're going to find is that the owner and the business are actually one and the same. And there's typically no infrastructure or any senior employees in the business to help you run it once you buy it. Above 10 million in annual sales revenues, then these businesses will sell much better than the 1 in 13 ratio. So you're going to have competition from other buyers. And so for all these reasons, we stick to the range $500,000 to $10 million in annual sales revenues, with 1 to 5 million being our absolute sweet spot. And aside from the competition that they generate, no cash down deals actually work for any size of business. I'll prove it to you. Back in the late 1980s, a guy called Henry Kravis, and that's him on the right, became the owner of RJR Nabisco, which at the time was one of the largest companies in America. And guess what? He took ownership of that business, and he didn't spend a dime of his own money to do that deal. There's an excellent book about the deal called Barbarians at the Gate. It's a definite must read if you want to be a deal maker and do any size of no cash down deals. It's $25 billion acquisition. So that's it for this particular video. The next video in this playlist will follow, and please check out all the other playlists and videos for everything you need to know to learn how to buy a business no cash down. In fact, I've crammed everything that you need to know into a special 90-minute webinar titled 3 Insider Secrets to Buy a Profitable Business Inside of 99 Days Without Cash or Knowing How to Run a Business. And here are the 3 big secrets, the 3 killer training topics. Think of these as hurdles to you becoming a business owner. First, I'll show you exactly what the 10 steps are to buy a business, and you must follow these in order. It's really critical. Second, I'll show you lots of case studies of deals structured using OPM, other people's money, and it's no more difficult than high school math. And finally, I'll show you how you can get others to operate the businesses for you, so you can do other things like spend time with your family or buy other businesses whilst enjoying the cash flow that your new business is generating for you. So to register for this groundbreaking training, just click on the link underneath this video on YouTube or type in this link into your browser. I'll see you on air sometime in the next week. Until then, bye for now.